Welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast, powered by the Charleston American Marketing Association and broadcasting from our home at Charleston Radio Group. Thanks to CRG, we're able to talk with the movers and shakers of Charleston, from economy to art, from hospitality to tech, and everything in between. These leaders have made a home here in the Lowcountry. They live here, they work here, they make change here. Why? Let's talk about it.
Hello and welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast, powered by the Charleston American Marketing Association. We're here recording at the Charleston Media Solutions Studios. Big supporters of Cam. Got to give a shout out to Charleston's favorite DJ Jerry Feelsgood, for the beats in the beginning. And thanks to all our supporters. Compton here, co-founder and president of Roombo Advertising, a creative digital marketing agency here in Charleston and Tampa. And I'm also your incoming CAMA president.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm going to have fun with it. Margaret's killing it right now for us.
Yes.
I'm excited to be joined by my co-hostess with the mostest, Stephanie Barrow.
Aww.
Say hello.
Hey, co-hostess with the mostest. That's the first time you said that.
You like that?
I do like it. I'm going to stick with it.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Where are you from, Steph?
I am originally from Yorktown, Virginia, but now I live right here in Charleston.
That's right.
What's up, guys? I'm Stephanie Barrow. I am the founder of Stephanie Barrow Consulting, a digital strategy agency here in Charleston. And we have a very, very awesome guest, someone who is exceptionally giving back to the community. So I'm excited to have you here. Welcome, Shelly Puckett. She is the director of brand marketing for REV Credit Union, and we have her here in the studio with us today.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for having me. So is this where I can collect my check, right?
Yes. Yes.
You
We'll
got
be
it.
giving back.
You got the note.
Yep. Put your money where your mouth
Yeah,
is,
Paul
Stephanie.
O'Malley's got your check.
There
You ask
you
him
go.
for your check.
There
yeah.
you go.
I feel like I know where to find him now.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
yeah. He always pops in and says hello. So we're so excited to have you here. I was telling you this in the quote-unquote green room, but when I work with brands, I feel like you guys are like the gold standard of giving back to the Charleston community. So kudos to you and your team. You guys are just always out there giving back and really making an impression on me and making an impression on the public about how you are, like you said, putting your money where your mouth is, like giving back to the community and doing all the things. So congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, our biggest kind of motto is banking with purpose at REV. So, the more we grow as an institution, the more money we can give back to our community. So it kind of creates this really awesome cyclical cycle for not only our members and people that join REV, but then allowing us to give back to where they are in their community as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
We'll dive into all of that, but I want to learn a little bit more about you. How
Talk
long?
about Shelley a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Shell?
So I'm actually originally from Charleston.
Okay, good.
Born and raised. I grew up in West Ashley off Cosgrove.
Oh, no
Okay.
kidding.
So
Shout out to
where
WA.
the T-Bones is, right behind there.
Yeah.
Great place to grow up.
Wow.
I went to Bishop England High School. So the second part of my childhood actually lived like right down the street on Clements Ferry.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Like I said, went to Bishop England, same Catholic school my parents and aunts and uncles went to. So very
Wow.
big Charleston family.
You don't meet a lot of like firsthand Charlestonians, so
don't.
this is nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
We
Yeah.
tend to find some on the podcast.
We
tend
do.
to
We
find
do.
some here because we've talked to like the people that are doing great things here in the city.
Because they're
And they tend to be
emotionally invested in this community.
That's my point.
Yeah, no,
Thanks for finishing my sentence.
You're
Steph.
welcome. We get along well. I'm just gonna take it as we get along well. There you go.
So,
Yeah.
Shelley, you're from here.
Yes.
Why did you choose to stay here in Charleston?
Yeah. So after I graduated college,
What school again?
I didn't go too far. I just went to South Carolina and Columbia. So
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
I'm
Go
actually
Gamecocks.
a triplet. So
What?
my parents, yeah.
You're a triplet?
Yes, triplet. We're
That's impressive.
All girls?
fraternal, 2 girls and a
Two
boy.
girls and a boy.
Okay.
We're super close. They're the best thing. They're
Aw,
my
you guys
best
are still
friends.
Y'all are
too,
still
huh?
close?
We've gotten closer as we've gotten older. I feel like a lot of people
That's
say
good
that
to
with
hear.
siblings.
Yeah.
Good to
But
hear.
yeah. So my parents were, y'all are gonna have to pay for this, this whole college thing.
Of
So
course.
staying in
Yeah.
state was always a good opportunity, and South Carolina has an amazing journalism program there.
Okay.
So I always knew I wanted to do something creative. I've always been into art and design. So let's figure out how to make money with this
Oh my gosh.
with this skill. So
Yes.
marketing's was kind of the only avenue I really considered. So went to school for visual communications. Really got into web design and graphic design. So came back to Charleston and that was 2014, and just seeing how crazy the city has exploded since
Oh,
then.
it's massive now.
So just all the opportunities. So having more opportunities here in town, and then being able to stay close to my family and friends was just
That's wonderful.
something I couldn't really pass up. So
No kidding.
yeah.
Do you like it? Other than that, other than with those lists of like the family and then that, I mean, what about the lifestyle here?
I mean, what you can't really beat the lifestyle here. Just always, I love the water. I love boating.
Yeah,
Being with my friends, hanging out, and so yeah, you can't really beat it.
super cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
What was there a gig before Rev?
Oh yeah. So quite a journey to get to where I am now. After college, my first job was actually at the Post and Courier.
Okay.
Yes, in
Yes.
their marketing department. So it was funny. I just kept calling like every single week, and was like, "Hey, have you filled the position yet? Have you filled the
Good for
position?"
you.
Calling who?
Showing the
Calling Rev or
initiative.
calling-
Calling the Post and
Post and
Courier,
Courier.
getting the job.
And my would-be boss, Brad Boggs. Shout out Brad. But yeah, he eventually was like, "Yeah, I just had to hire you because you kept calling in and we're so persistent."
Hey, I love that.
We hear a lot of that too.
We do here, but I think people
Yeah.
lose their gumption over time out of just political correctness or whatever. I like that. Just keep driving. the
Oh
phone calls
yeah,
home.
I was just like, I really don't have anything to lose, and this
Right.
seems
Good for
like
you.
I just felt something would be good with that position.
Well, how'd it
So
go there?
it went great. They actually ended up creating kind of a new role for me. I was the interactive creative specialist,
There you
which
go.
was pretty cool.
Sounds
So yeah, doing web content, helping them build out their sponsored content product they
Okay.
still have now.
Oh.
Doing websites for clients, emails, all the fun things. So, and honestly, the best team there ever. Still close to a lot of those people, and it was a great place to start. And being like right in the center of downtown was pretty sweet.
That
too.
is pretty cool.
What a way to get into knowing everybody in this town.
Yes.
By working with all the different brands and
Yes.
Post and Couriers, just doing some cool stuff.
She knew what she wanted. She got it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Smart. What? So it went from Post and Courier to Rev?
No, after Post and Courier. So I was there for about 2.5, 3 years, and then actually worked for a design and build firm not far down the street from here. We were doing modular construction
Okay.
out of like foam and steel panelized building system.
Okay.
So
a little different.
that's the crazy thing about marketing is that you can go into any industry and you just really throw yourself in and try to understand what it is you're doing, so then you can kind of relay that to
So
the
now
public.
you're an expert in this field.
Yeah, so I
That's
would
neat.
be at trade shows. I would be talking to, not only homeowners trying to build with this system or engineers, builders, architects, all the things. So it was a really cool experience. But yeah, and then after that, for another 2.5 years, I found an opportunity at then Heritage Trust. We weren't Rev
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Okay.
this was 2019. So I've been there for, since then. And when I first got there, I really got hired to redesign the website.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I don't really know about this credit union thing. We were kind of in a brand at that point that was, a lot old school, very traditional. And then Jason Lee, our CEO, came in around the same time I got there and was like, we're going to flip this thing on its head and we're going to create this whole new brand. And I got to be right there at the table creating it. And it was an amazing experience. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. And
Can I ask how old you were at that time?
like 27.
That's
Yeah.
still pretty young.
Yeah.
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 To be at the table for a rebrand for a credit union?
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
And
Thank
especially
you.
credit even to the scale. 'Cause
Yeah.
You've really done some neat things here in Charleston. Like I can't say that I know a ton of banks off of just their name. I just don't. I'm not that kind of person. I've been with Wells Fargo for forever.
This is a credit union too. I understand.
know,
There's
but
differences here.
I understand,
Okay.
but for me, it's just like if nonprofits will ask my permission, like where should I go, this and that. Like they ask my advice, I say you got to go to Rev Bank because you get back to the community. Can you
Mhm.
talk a little bit about your partnership with like the nonprofits?
Sure, absolutely. And it's funny, Mike, you just talked about, there's a difference between
difference.
credit union and bank.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But, Stephanie, you just said bank. A lot of people use it interchangeably.
Yeah.
It is.
And our brand.
Coke and Pepsi, interchangeable.
And for us, like, we really feel like it doesn't really matter. It matters, in a foundational sense, but at the end of the day, we just want people to know that we have great financial products and services.
Mhm.
They connect with the brand, so
Exactly.
that's why they come to Rev. We've even dropped Federal Credit Union off our name,
Oh.
which is another kind of marketing brand play we can talk about later. But
Is that new?
After about a year and a half of being Federal Credit Union,
Yeah.
we dropped it completely.
Nice.
Into our new markets that we're entering, we keep that just so people know we're
Right.
financial. But
Yes.
Right.
Establish the brand.
right, exactly. But stepping back to your question, just about giving back. So one of our core philosophies, like I said, is banking with purpose. So we really came out the gate with that as who we are as an institution and trying to differentiate ourselves from the market when you have so many different choices. of
Right.
who you
That was
can
going to
do
be my
business
question. When
with.
you sat down at the table for the rebrand, were you always purpose driven? Like, did you know this going in? This was part of the beginning philosophy?
Yes, absolutely. So that was definitely one pillar of the philosophy. The second one really is modernizing and creating this brand that's we talk about legacy a lot, and legacy means to us that your grandchildren's grandchildren are going to bank with REV because we are standing the test of time to be around for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that with an old stodgy brand that doesn't relate to people.
Sure.
So modernizing not only our technology, but the way the look and feel is, and all the things that we're doing in the community really aligns with that. How do we survive,
Right.
because credit unions are decreasing every single year. So
Right.
we have a lot of work ahead of us, not get swallowed up by big institutions.
Sure. So this was 2019 when you were starting the rebrands.
Right.
So right before the peak of COVID, in a sense.
We honestly launched the whole rebrand in March of 2020.
Did you slow roll it out, or how did that work?
Yeah, so we were sitting around the table. We had just done all this work. We had the logo done, and we're like, okay, what do we do? And we just didn't know how long COVID was going to last. So
Right.
we're like,
Right.
let's just do this thing. We launched a big billboard campaign, and we obviously had to start with our membership first to
Right.
just kind of slowly roll that out,
Mhm.
tell them the why, about why we're doing this,
Yeah.
which, definitely ruffled some feathers at first to try
sure.
to get them used to it. Change is uncomfortable for people sometimes, but we tried to do as much storytelling and communication as we could to make them comfortable with it. And then
Yeah, I think
blasted
if
it.
I'm remembering this correctly, the storytelling piece of it is, didn't you have like a conceptual, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 billboards in a row on I-26 talking about the messaging and the rebrand and that kind of thing? So it was like you were inundated with the messaging one after the next,
Right.
which was fantastic.
yes.
Yeah, it was
we
really
did
cool.
one of the atom bombs, as they say.
There you go. That's atom bombs.
What is that?
So it's like 50 billboards,
Yeah.
and it's a couple weeks span, but they're moving every so often, so it literally looks like you're everywhere.
Oh.
It feels
Um,
like it's like subliminal messaging, and it's just following you across the entire
Right.
city.
Mm-hmm.
That is number
Yeah.
one. It's amazing that you had the budget to do that, and number two, it's incredible that you had the forethought that would really penetrate into people's brains, because during the time of COVID and you're just kind of like driving around aimlessly in your car, like trying to kill time. Like I remember seeing those billboards being like, this is really thoughtful, creative, new way to do something. I'd never seen anything like that before, except for like, the real estate, like the same people, but it was simple messaging where it was just kind of like, nothing flashy about it. It was just like lines, just copy. And then the
Mhm.
next one was copy. And then the next one was copy. It really told the story very well. That's why I'm so familiar with your brand from that campaign forward. Thinking,
Thank you.
Sort of a
Thank
heavy
you. Thank
lift
you.
there to
I
rebrand
know.
like that, from Heritage Trust to
Yes.
REV. Can I ask you, what does REV stand for? Anything?
Yeah, so we get that question all the time. So it doesn't stand for anything like an acronym or anything like that.
Mhm.
It's just, a short, memorable word that means forward momentum,
Mhm.
positivity. And we were really looking for something that was short and memorable. So that's how we came up with REV. We came down to like 3 names, and that one just kept coming back to us and back to us. Like, okay, this is cool. We have something here.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How big is your team?
Our marketing team now, there's 9 of us, including myself.
That's impressive.
Yeah, at the time of the rebrand, there was 4 of us. So we've grown a lot since then.
How many
Right.
branches do we have?
So right now we have 14 branches. We have 10 in the Low Country, and then we have 4 in North Carolina.
Do you have expansion plans?
Yes,
Jason's expansion plans. I'm sure. That guy is
Yes.
a rock star.
he is. He
I'm
is.
just from social media
Yeah.
looking in. I follow you all
Yes.
on all the platforms, and that dude
Yes.
looks like he's going to conquer the world, man.
Right.
He's awesome.
Seems like a really nice guy, too.
He is.
Super
He's-
tall.
Yeah, super tall. It's funny.
Shout
I'll
out,
like
Jason.
get on stage with him and we'll talk like
Yeah.
at community at employee events and stuff, and then just
You know what?
the
I
height difference is kind of funny.
I saw a photo. I did giggle, actually.
Yes, but for me, I just look at him, as a normal teammate, and he's very involved in the marketing process.
Very
Loves-
approachable, huh?
Yes, very easy to work with. Has a lot of great ideas. So very fortunate to work with him over these past 5 years. It's kind of crazy what we've all gone through together, and when I look back, it's like holy crap,
So you were there before him.
We started around the same time.
Same time.
In 2019.
That's fun.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I was going to ask, like, when you came together as a team, just like for the key takeaways for listeners, coming together for a rebrand like that. So what was your course of action? Did you just like have pieces of paper on the wall and you just threw ideas at them and see what stuck?
Yeah, so we worked with an agency, and we just told them, our goals. This is kind of what we want to stand for. And then they came back with a bunch of pieces of paper on the table with like a million names, and then we kept kind of narrowing it down. We looked at a lot of different scenarios and did some testing with different focus groups, stuff like that. But it was still pretty quick in the grand scheme of things.
How
And
long
then
did it take, that part?
took maybe like 3 months, 4 months, something like that.
But you did your due diligence with the focus groups and really put in
Right.
the legwork in.
Right. And then we're looking at, obviously securing domains, like looking at what other people have as name REV, because
Right.
there are some other companies with that name in it. So is the product line different enough? Is this going to be cause any confusion? So it was quite interesting. And then we were left literally with a logo. So at that time I was, the only one doing our design and development. So it's like, how do we take this logo and create a whole brand identity around it?
Sure.
And then launch this thing. So it was
Is there a story
pretty cool.
behind the logo? Everybody talks about the logo. It's a conversation. Whether
Yeah.
people hate it or love it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But-
Yeah. So we're actually started as the Charleston Air Force Base Credit Union in 1955. So if you look at the REV logo,
Ah.
it's kind of like a tail
look it
wing of a plane.
There it is.
Yep.
Now I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I had no idea. Now it makes sense.
Yep.
Listeners, now it makes sense, right, everybody?
No, I like him.
Love it.
I
The
just
people
pulled it
want to
up.
know. I know they
People
want to
wanna
know.
man. Everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And we have like our bright colors, which are really.
I do. I like that you've adopted like the bright teal.
Yes.
It's kind of, the fast sports car, that kind of the visual aspects of it is neat, but it's modern, but you also have the community spin. So you're kind of like hitting all the audiences.
Right.
Think about this too. How many other people are excited about a credit union? Do you know what I mean? I'm legit
know.
excited about a credit union, like REV. I follow REV.
Same.
Everything they do.
Yeah.
But nobody else is talking about a credit union. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
you're
but
doing
REV.
something
REV
right
is doing
for
something
sure.
right.
Thank you. Yeah. I always say my job is to make a credit union look cool.
And
And
you're
you
doing
are.
great.
You
Do
are.
you love your job?
I actually really do. Like I said, when I first got there in 2019, I was like, I don't know about this, but the more we've progressed, like the amount of opportunities I've had and things I've gotten to do and be at the table at and be a part of has been just amazing, honestly, for my career. So I'm, I do love it. It's, it's a lot some days, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right.
And as a marketing team, what is your main focus? Is it digital? I know that you're obviously, we talked about doing billboards and like traditional marketing, things like that. What other things are you doing? Are you doing TikTok? Like how are you, like,
Hope not.
what are you doing?
Right. R.I.P. I know.
Yeah.
Sad. So we consider really ourselves an in-house marketing agency. Everything you see is designed and developed by us. We have a massive like internal culture too that we cultivate. So right now we're really focusing on our REV Day, which is our annual employee day. We
Okay.
do it at the music hall. This is our third year there. We've done it at Festival Hall or Miminger Auditorium.
Fun.
We've done it at West Edge before, and it's like this big party, conference, TEDx type experience that we've been able to pull off.
Cool.
Like we have motivational speakers come in. We have like crazy lighting. We have music.
What an awesome place to work.
We have like
Yeah.
just swag that we work, months and months on developing collaborations with different local vendors. So marketing team, we're working on that because if really cultivating like a brand message and story, you have to start with your internal.
Sure.
Exactly
And the
right.
people have to feel it. They have to understand the why
Yes.
behind it. So this is our fifth Rev Day this year. So we're really, that's
So
one
it's
thing
more
we're
than
working on.
annual. You're doing 5 a year?
No, we do one annual event every
Okay.
year for Rev Day, and then we do our Rev Day for Good, which is
Yes.
our day where we take one of our federal holidays and all of our employees across North and South Carolina go out to nonprofits all day. So we spend like 8 hours volunteering, then we all get together, 4 hours volunteering, then we all get together for 4 hours and do a big group project as well.
I
So
love it.
that's a lot of logistics with that too.
I
as
can
you
only imagine
Yeah.
that the marketing team has a probably stronghold on that.
Yes.
A lot of work to do.
Yep. That's all us.
Yeah.
You said internal, right? I mean, the messaging and the brand, the story branding has to be bought in internally. If you don't have happy employees, you're going to
Sure.
have disgruntled
Yes.
Eugenes, if you will, disgruntled clients, right?
Yeah.
So it's super smart. And then is it a lot of the content that you're creating too just for internal sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. So we have like our, employee internet that we call Rev Life.
Okay.
We're always creating content for there, making sure everyone knows what's going on, not only in the marketing realm, but also volunteerism.
Yep.
We've been going through a big transformation digitally, so there's a lot of communication there. We're constantly redoing kind of the artwork on the walls and the space that we're in. We're
I love
in
it.
the middle of doing that as well. So yeah, a lot of content for employees and a lot of external content about employees that we're working on now too, to tell their story, to showcase, our employment and what a great place.
I was curious. I bet you have a ton of applications.
We do. We try to keep it coming. We have our REV employee orientation like every 2 weeks. So they're always coming in, and it's exciting because I always tell new employees, like, you're still at the forefront of something really exciting. We're still building this train it's going 100 miles an hour down the track. So this is still a great time to be at REV.
Jump on board.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Get on, or
Hold on tight.
you're gonna fly off because we're going and it's exciting.
Now, if people aren't familiar with your brand, like they don't follow you on Instagram or Facebook or that kind of thing,
Not super fans like us.
not super fans like us, what can they expect to see by following you guys?
Yeah. So on social, we're really focusing a lot on, like you said, our give back. So we interview our nonprofits. We take a lot of content out in the community volunteering. We also have a bunch of sponsorships. So our content a lot of times revolves around those community events. And when we sponsor an event, we look for something that really brings people together. So
Sure.
that's how we sponsor sports and music things a lot.
Okay.
So, but yeah, from our brand, like our great product and services, the one thing that's difficult about a financial institution to market is we're marketing like 10 products and services at one time.
Oh, I was going to say, are you educating people on your bank, your mission? I know
Yes.
you're obviously talking about the nonprofit good that you're doing in the world. but
Right.
Are you talking about like,
So
do I
is it-
bring my child in at age 10 to get a checking account? Like those kinds of things?
Is it
too?
more
Right.
B2C focused or B2B focused, do you think?
Right now it's B2C focused. We also have our Rev business group building up a lot
Okay.
as well. So that's really exciting. We're also working on like a nonprofit business account too.
Good.
So continuing to like connect all those dots together and offering.
That's a big operation. You have a lot of things in play right now.
We really do. We have, a great mortgage team. Obviously we have our 4% premier checking, like shameless plug.
Everybody
there,
knows about
but-
that.
No.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
So it really depends upon, the product we're marketing based on, one, the seasonality, but two, like what Rev needs. So if, we're deposit heavy, like on our books, then we have more money to lend out, and then the opposite,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I want
it
to talk a
fluctuates.
little bit about
Right.
the Up the Good Foundation.
yeah.
So can you tell us like the gist? I know we're talking a lot about nonprofits and that kind of thing,
Sure.
but like what is the Up the Good Foundation?
Yep. So the Up the Good Foundation is all about creating resilient communities. So what that means to us is focusing on, health and wellness. So organizations that really make a difference in people's lives, like the American Heart Association, for example.
Okay.
Inclusivity and access for people. So Just Be is an organization that teaches companies about autism and
Right.
How to be inclusive of that.
I love that.
Surfers Healing is awesome too. They do a big day on Folly every year. We support them. Beyond Basic, and then the last one's really about financial education and strength. So increasing hope is a big one. Making sure people have access to financial education.
I was going to say, yes,
Yeah.
financial literacy, I think, right?
Yep.
Isn't that
We like calling it financial wellness
okay?
over literacy.
Sure.
Just because it's just your whole well-being.
Yeah.
Because, the more financially fit you are, the more you're able to do all these things, not
Mhm.
only for yourself, but for your community
Financially
too.
fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a
Yeah, yeah.
team, you've volunteered over 10,000 hours.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Great. That's
That
great.
was our 5-year goal. We hit it in 4, which was awesome. So now we have a 30,000 hour goal to hit in the next 5 years. So
Okay.
we're definitely doubling down. And as we expand into new markets, continuing to grow those communities too.
I mean, yeah.
That's huge.
Mhm.
Smart. So earlier you talked about the different messaging that you have, both internal and external.
Mhm.
Do you have any best practices to talk about when adapting content across multiple platforms?
Sure. Yeah, and I know we've heard it a lot as marketers, if you're looking at doing even Instagram versus Facebook,
Yeah.
it's a different market, or it's a different audience that you're
Mm-hmm.
putting your message out there to. So just taking a piece of content, for example, we just created a really big blog post for our Start Smart First Time Home Buyers program.
Okay.
And there's so much information in there. So if we have, the blog post on the website that we can really go into detail about the product, then, we can take little snippets of that and make a video for Instagram. If we're shooting, one of our MLOs talking about it, using that as a reel,
Yeah.
and then putting that out in, an email or on our media screen to our members that walk into the branch. So just whatever piece of content we have, I always challenge my team to slice and dice it as many times as you can.
Sure.
Because we're running in so many directions, we have to be efficient with, continuing to get that story out there.
Yeah, you got to squeeze that.
Yes.
Squeeze the juice out of
Absolutely, yes.
Speaking of stories,
Yeah.
I loved your commercial that won a Spark Award this year.
Oh, thank you. The one that we're nominated for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was really good.
It was a
Thank
nomination.
you.
I don't. Did you?
No,
guys
we
win?
didn't win.
Oh,
I know.
man.
Tear.
Swore you won. I was really good. I really, really liked
Thank
it.
you.
But
I think we all
we-
kind of teamed up, didn't we? And cheered up a little bit.
It was a good spot.
Yes.
Yeah, I was holding my husband. It's cute. It's sweet.
Yes, thank
I
you.
forget what
Yeah.
spot won, but
That was last year was our first time working with an actual video producer and producing a major video
Yeah.
commercial like
yeah.
that. So we actually worked with Bevan in Wilmington, North Carolina. She was
Okay.
actually on One Tree
Oh,
Hill, which is
Oh,
awesome because
good
we
for
could do a lot
her.
of organic cross
Stuff in
social
Wilmington?
media.
Wait, what now? So you found a producer that works with?
Yeah, so they know each other, and she's a big name in Wilmington, and obviously Wilmington is our emerging market.
Okay.
So we have 2
That worked
branches
out
there.
nicely.
It did. So
Yeah.
it's really, she owns her own cycling studio.
Right.
So talking about, Rev helps me
Big fan.
power my business. Rev helps me power my financial goals. So it was really cool. It was you feel like you're, ready to go do a cycling class after you watch it.
Super cool.
It's pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
That's
Huh.
awesome.
Well, thanks for submitting work. in
Yeah,
the Spark and
absolutely.
supporting there. You
Yeah.
were there with your team.
Yes,
Hope you had a good time.
we did. We had a great time.
I'm sorry you didn't walk away with anything next year.
I know. Next year,
Next
we'll
year.
keep
In
trying.
my heart, you did. I literally left thinking that you did. So that's how much it impacted me with me. So you're doing lots of things right.
Thank you. I
Heck
appreciate
yeah.
that.
So speaking of lots of things going on, and we were talking about how you guys up the good and are
Mhm.
part of the community a lot. There's got to be so many requests that come into play.
Mhm. Right.
Who says yes? First of all, and I love the music. Like
Yes.
the what is it called? You guys have a concert series?
Oh, Rev Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
I
Rev
know.
Rocks.
Yes.
Isn't that neat?
Thank
who,
you.
I don't know. Maybe the radio station needs to know a little bit more about this too, right? Like,
Well, this is our Wilmington concert series.
bring it
So
to Charleston.
I know we need to. Yes.
Yeah.
We're
Done.
always looking. If you find a concert series that's willing to let us name
I
something,
thought you had one here. I thought,
we did have Firefly.
Ah.
Yeah.
The Firefly one.
Yeah, so we had safe sounds at Firefly during COVID where you had the squares and everything,
yeah.
which was pretty sweet. But yeah, we're not doing the Firefly concerts anymore, but shout out to them. They do a great job.
They do a good job.
Rob with Ear for Music. we
Sure.
like
Well,
them
there's
a lot.
so much going on in Charleston. So many
Right.
different great nonprofits,
Yes,
but
yes.
also parties.
Yeah,
Like every
Mhm.
weekend.
Uh-huh.
there's
Do you
something
guys
going
have
on.
a gala or anything like that?
not yet.
You're adding stuff to their list. There's
She's-
stuff. There's a lot going on
And
already.
she said not yet.
Not
She
yet.
probably has it in the works already.
Not yet. It's
Who says yes
Okay.
and no is my question.
For,
is
like,
there a group
sponsorships
thing?
and
Yeah.
stuff?
So you're head of branding, right?
Yes.
So it's got to
Yep.
make sense for the brand.
Yes.
You probably have a little bit of a say in there. I'm
Right.
sure.
Yeah. So, like we were talking about earlier, we're
Mhm.
really focusing on events that bring people together. So, the River Dogs is a great example of that. We're powering their opening day on April 4th. Really talking about Up the Good, sharing that message. We'll have a nonprofit activation there. We're going to be giving out some cool swag. That's REV. So yeah, just any opportunity that brings, family and community together that will align with our brand.
I should have wore my Rev hat. I have a Rev hat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
I need to
Cute.
send y'all some more.
I was lucky enough
Rev
to pitch
stuff.
my agency
I
in
wanna-
there,
I wanna-
and I left with a hat. So I was like, yeah, this is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I wore it a lot too.
Yep.
It's very cool.
That's
Yeah,
smart.
we take a lot of pride in our swag and giveaway stuff.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any
Um,
Rev swag, so I'm gonna come by.
So yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
actually have a Shop Rev gear now. So we
Oh, you
created an
do?
entire e-commerce site last
Oh,
year.
that's a
That's
heavy
amazing.
lift, huh?
Yeah, so really working on we had to learn Shopify last year, so
Right.
that was fun.
Shopify is a pain.
Yeah, but getting that into the hands of our members, into our employees, every purchase from Shop Rev Gear goes back to Up the Good Foundation. So another way for us to tell the story of what we're doing. It's all really about telling that story. So just different
Sounds like you
avenues
have to
of
have a
that.
really strong team to make all this happen.
Yes, I do. Very, very thankful for them. Yeah, a lot of
Shout out to Kelly Nix and
Yes.
your team there.
yes,
Right?
absolutely. Yep. Rev marketing team, very
yeah.
solid.
Yeah. So is there a specific campaign or an activation that you're particularly proud of?
Yes, I was thinking about this earlier, and just one thing I always come back to is 2023 was like a crazy year for us. We did a conversion of our core banking system, and
Core
then,
conversions, know 'em well.
and then a digital
Dread 'em.
banking conversion. So our entire app was going over to a new app. So when you're talking about 65,000 plus members, logging in, and it's a different app, trying to communicate that was just a crazy but amazing experience looking back on it now.
How did you do it?
So
Video?
yeah, so
emails?
we did literally everything. We created custom videos, we did landing pages, we did mailers with QR codes to the landing page, we did massive email campaigns. So we started really early, kind of trickling the message out. And then I think as a marketer, it's so important to actually really understand what it is you're talking about, especially when it's technical. So I was lucky enough to be like in the process of building the app and making it look and feel like the Rev brand.
Yeah.
And then being able to beta test it and use it, so I could really talk to our members and say, hey, this is what to expect on day one.
Yeah.
And just making our graphics and stuff exciting
Yeah.
and
Have
cool.
you changed any of your strategy for this new calendar year? Are you gonna keep with stay the course?
We're shifting a little bit more. We're, aside from cultivating our membership, and making sure that they know all the products and services we have, just continue to do more target marketing out in the community. I think our biggest shift is that we've done a lot of halo and brand marketing.
Yep.
Just saying, hey, we're Rev, we're here, blah, blah, blah.
You have done a lot of branding.
Halo?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Halo?
So like the billboards,
Yeah.
so it's not, you can't,
There's no real attainable ROI.
right, it's hard to track that.
Should I know this term? Halo? I should
Maybe.
know this term. All right, for the
Yeah.
listeners,
Well,
for the
you know,
listeners.
learn
I
something
ask
every
the
day.
stupid questions.
Yeah.
Everyone
It's-
knows
No,
that.
that's good, yeah.
It's
I'm
things
not
that aren't
afraid.
trackable. Like there's no
Right.
Halo.
QR code towards it or phone number towards it.
Right.
It's just
Some
So,
people
like,
would say
our-
that advertising in general is all Halo,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Well, a lot of it is
Mhm.
trackable, which is good. Which
oh,
makes things
nowadays
easier.
it is
Yeah.
for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now just making sure that people, we've had some feedback that, like, oh, I thought that y'all were a, car loan company, or are y'all a nightclub? Like, so trying to make sure. I know. We've
Well,
got
you do
some
use
crazy
fun
things.
colors.
Yeah. So just making sure
Oh,
that people know,
That's
which I think
hilarious.
is great. Honestly, I love that.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
making sure that people know that we're the go-to financial, resource, and that we have all these great products and services without diluting our main brand message, but finding the different channels for all of our different products that we have.
How
That's
many products are
amazing.
there?
Anything you could need
Yeah.
financially,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have it.
Good.
Yes.
What are your top 3 products that you like to
Yep.
work on?
So obviously certificates and deposits are still a main, driver for us. Getting checking accounts, having your direct deposit and having that relationship as your primary financial institution. It will
Mhm.
always be our number one driver. Mortgage is big for us too.
That's good to know.
Okay.
Yes.
A lot of people moving here. A lot of people
Mhm.
refining as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
getting that low interest rate.
Yep.
Lower.
So yeah.
I know a good credit union that could help you out.
Yeah,
There you
listeners.
go. Yeah, we
There
have a
you go.
great first-time homebuyers program with 0 down, no PMI.
Okay.
It's almost 100% financing. It's really awesome. So
That's awesome.
we have that, and then I think financial education is another big
I
thing
think
for
that's
us.
huge. Do you come to schools or anything like that, to high
Yes.
schools? And
Yeah.
you do?
We
Okay.
actually have 3 branches in our local high schools that are run by
in the
students.
high school.
In the high schools.
Correct.
Which high schools?
Yep. So Stall High School.
Okay.
Stall
fine.
High School. Now I'm blanking
That's okay. Yeah.
really quickly.
2 other high
blanking.
schools. Wando?
Yes. No, not Wando.
Wando's got 3,000 students.
It's
They
like a
do.
campus.
Like they
A
need a
college
bank. I mean a
campus.
credit union.
They
Need,
do.
they need some kind of a financial institution.
Yes. So, anyways, yeah, we're the Stall, Cane Bay, and then Goose Creek.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So we're
So kind of like all in the same similar area.
correct. Yeah.
So you're trying to come over this way, correct?
Yeah. So
We would-
Philip Simmons.
That's
There
a
you
great
go.
school
Yes.
right down the street
Yes,
from
I
here.
said
There you
Goose
go.
Creek, but Philip Simmons now is all coming back to me.
There you
Like
go.
I
Yeah,
said,
there you go.
we're doing all the things at once.
We're asking you a lot of
Yeah.
questions.
We
there,
are asking
Shelley.
you a lot of questions.
Firing a lot of
Yes. Yeah. So Stall, Cane Bay, Philip Simmons. Those are the high schools we're in. It's a great program. The students actually make money. They can come work in the ranch during summer.
Stop it.
And during their
Internships
Christmas
and
break.
stuff.
Yeah. So they can shadow different departments. But they, earn the same amount as a teller.
They
when
earn the
they're-
same amount as a teller?
Correct. When they're doing like
Wow.
their summer hours and stuff.
That's cool.
Yep.
That
so
is really cool.
It is awesome.
Within the next 10 years, we need to get into Wando by the time my kids.
I was getting ready to say that.
Yes.
I'm like, we're planning
Yeah.
ahead.
Is 10 years? Is that 10 years from now? We're 19? Oh, no. Shoot,
Less.
Less than that.
Less. I have a
Oh
fourth
my
grader. You have a
gosh,
third graders.
grader.
Yeah. Third.
It's crazy.
Time
I'm
flies,
not
Shelley.
there yet.
Time
so
flies. Take your time.
Yeah.
Don't
no.
rush into anything.
No,
please.
no.
We're both old parents,
I
right?
was like, no.
When did you have your first kid, Steph?
I had my daughter at 35.
Same. Yeah.
Well, that will be my trajectory. I'm getting married this year.
Good for you.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That.
Congrats. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Really excited.
That's awesome.
What does he do? Where is he? What's his name?
So Todd, shout out.
Shout out
He's
to Todd.
awesome. My biggest supporter. But he's actually a pilot for United.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. So
Tell him we need you to stay here
yes,
in Charleston.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely the pilot lifestyle is a fun one, and
You
I'd
can
never
travel.
really flown that much until I met him.
Okay.
So I've gotten to go to so many places, and every place I'm like, oh my god, it's the coolest thing ever.
You fly for free, I'm sure.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. So Rome, Prague.
I married a nurse.
Oh wow.
That's
I don't
amazing
want to
too.
go into the hospital for free. Nobody wants to go to the doctors. Let's
Uh,
love Emily. Shout out Emily.
Shout out to Emily.
She is our hero. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you have a date?
Yes, April 5th.
Ooh.
Oh.
So it's
coming
coming
up,
up.
dude.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Are you getting married here in
You
Charleston?
seem pretty calm and collective.
Yeah, I'm
for
kind of-
that.
She can handle a lot. So I
Apparently.
think
You
she's
know,
prepared.
it's like a duck. It's just paddling ferociously
Oh, yeah.
underwater.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
just
But yeah, so it's gonna be in Charleston, Old Wide Awake. It's out in Hollywood,
okay.
on the Stoner River.
Stoner River's
See,
pretty.
I'm not cool enough to know. That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
if
it's
you
cool.
know, you know
Reese
type of
Witherspoon
things.
actually got married
Of
there.
course,
Yeah.
of course, Reese did.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. My parents live a half mile from there now, so that's
Oh,
kind of their
awesome.
retirement homestead out there. It's a lot quieter.
I need to go out there and just
That's
check it out.
amazing.
I've
Yeah,
never been
check it
there.
out. Yeah, there's
That's
a
cute.
county park and it's beautiful
Yeah.
around the river. Yeah, very sweet.
All right.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Because a lot of our listeners too are new to town, so kind of like talking about the area is what we do.
Yeah.
So one of our questions here is one of our last questions, but we can move it forward.
Mhm.
Is where is your favorite place to eat and drink?
Oh gosh, there's so many.
Aren't there though?
Especially because you're from here. You probably have seen a lot of transition. Have you seen
Yes. Oh,
places go that
gosh.
you miss?
Yes, here and there, but it's like I'm not very picky, honestly. I like
food, too.
everything.
I like food and drinks.
Yeah.
But my favorite right now, like we love Berkeley's, we love Beautiful South. We
Two I haven't even heard
Same.
of. This is
What?
great.
And I'm like, I thought I was a foodie.
Where are these restaurants?
so Berkeley's is on Hugie.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, literally the best, like lunch spot. Sit outside, it's great.
Okay.
Then yeah, like I love a dive bar like Burns Alley or Royal American.
I do like Roma. They have some good music.
Yeah.
spots, and that one's one of them.
Yeah, if we're gonna go like in Mount Pleasant, we love Muddy's, or like sitting outside the bar at Tavern Table, like having a glass of wine with my girlfriends. Yeah, or even like Blues. Shout out Blues, Mount
Oh,
Pleasant.
That was me.
Stay
And
full.
Shout out. That was me and Matthew's first date. Was singing
Really?
karaoke at Blues.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
This is a
I
different
love it.
blues than by
I
me
know
then.
the one on Johnny Dodd's.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
that's-
haven't been to that one.
That's
Yes.
That was our first
That's
date.
that's a better one, I'm
amazing.
sure.
We could
Mhm.
walk there from our place. So.
Really?
Yeah.
They have the best wings.
They do. It's awesome.
Yep. I did sing "Marry Me" to Bruno Mars to him
Oh
on
my
our first date.
gosh.
So
That's really
just,
funny.
Just going for this.
Oh, I
I
love
say-
that.
Fences.
Listen, I sang "Let's Get Drunk and Screw" on my first date with Emily.
Wow.
Was that smart? I think. You know.
Hey, you ended
But
up.
we
We
did
married both of
Karaoke.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Landed them.
I mean,
Wow. Yeah.
That's-
We did not meet over karaoke. Thankfully, I'm not.
oh,
He would have
no.
ran for the hills, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm
Blues
surprised
is
she
a good
didn't.
spot. Charleston has a lot of great places.
Yes.
I remember it clearly. There was two old women sitting right there in the audience. I was just singing right to them. Let's get, the Jimmy Buffett
Oh yeah,
song.
that's
Yeah.
a great song.
That's
Why
amazing.
don't we? Anyway.
This showcased our personality a lot. Our first dates were karaoke, singing badly. So
That's
that
cool.
says
I
something
love
about
it.
our spouses who handle us. So that's good.
I love that. Okay, so are there any trends and strategies that are shaping the marketing landscape in 2025 that you can talk to for Rev?
Sure. Yeah, I think one of the things, especially with AI
Mm.
coming in, like everything can be, hyper curated. Everything can be, perfect. So one of the trends I think I always see is just like showing that authenticity
Right.
more. Even with like TikTok and stuff, all like the get ready with me videos, it's people just being natural and showing those different sides of themselves that aren't, totally filtered.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. So I think showcasing more of that and just really being real and having that come across
No.
is going to stand out in the marketplace, I think, more than having something that's totally perfect and,
I think you do a good job of a combination of having the professional photography, commercial videography, that kind of thing, but you also do like behind the scenes stuff with your reels and that kind of thing. I think that's important.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely something where we want to do more of. We know videos, not going away. So doing more videos, more of those, hyper produced commercials, but then having those touches of realness to them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have like the documentary of Jason going to all the different places that he goes to. Like,
Yeah.
follow that guy around.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly.
That's content right there.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have that idea.
Thank you.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Thank you. I'll write that
There
down.
you go.
Man, this has been a great conversation. You speak really fast too, so I
Okay.
feel like we're getting a lot of information in a quick amount of time. So
Am
I
I
don't know what
speaking
else to
too
do.
fast?
No, you're great.
No,
I'm
she-
just
Okay.
saying, we're going through this a lot. This is great.
No,
Good.
I think it's amazing what you're doing, and I think this is since it's crazy to me. This has only been an activated campaign since the 2019.
Mm-hmm.
With
I
a
thought-
complete
2020, yeah.
rebrands.
A complete, but that's pretty impressive.
From like,
Thank you.
I don't remember. Obviously, I moved here in 2019. I don't remember Heritage Trust,
Mm-hmm.
No,
but it just sounds old.
Yes.
it does sound like
Just
it sounds like
Heritage, right?
Yes.
The word alone.
I
Right?
like a monogram shirt type
Yeah.
situation. like I'm going to the Heritage with the Heritage
Heritage.
monogram, like
Yeah.
my polo shirt. Now it's like I want to drive my Lambo to show up and
There you
go in
go.
through your drive-through.
You're showing up in your PJ,
Yeah, there
private
you go.
jets.
Oh, I was like PJs. All of me's like, are you looking at me in the school
I said
line?
it, Kelly. I said it.
PJs. Oh my gosh.
Well, because the logo looks like a.
I know.
airplane
I
wing.
know.
Yes.
That's why I was. Come on, help
Oh,
me
yeah,
out.
yeah,
here.
got you.
yeah.
Circle. Thanks, Shelley.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
plane wrapped at some point. So with the rev,
Oh.
vibe.
Hey, there you go.
Boeing's right there. You knock on their door and say, "Hey, can
I
you give us a plane?"
mean,
Then you need to
Ask for a
take this
PJ,
plane
though.
and have it go down Coleman Boulevard during the Mount Pleasant Christmas Day parade and just throw out candy.
Oh, yeah.
Just throw it out.
Yeah,
that'd
I
be
have-
fun.
That would be fun.
it would be. We were trying to get one of our boat dealers to wrap a boat for the
Yeah.
boat show coming up that we're going to be at.
Cool.
Not this year, but hopefully next year they'll go for that. But
So you're gonna have a boat, then you can have a fishing tournament, then you have another fundraiser.
Yes.
Oh, you guys, so much
All
you
the
can
things.
do. All the things.
It's awesome that your team and the owners of the bank or the what have you are
Mhm.
like down to do all this cool
Leadership.
stuff.
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Because
very,
a
very
lot
lucky
of
for that.
you have a lot of yes people in your life, which is nice.
Yeah, it definitely I think takes a lot of anticipating and knowing, our leadership and what their kind of appetite is. So
Right.
presenting something to them, knowing what they're gonna say,
Yeah.
but then we can kind of help show up in the Rev way, no matter what it is, because but we are very lucky that they're want to sponsor Beer Fest. They're down to do all these cool things.
Yeah. Every
that
cool
are
event
different.
sponsored by Rev. I'm like,
Right.
What? How do you do that?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you become
Did
everything
you
for
get
everyone?
on the first day of work? Do you get like a handbook? Like this is your Rev handbook.
Yeah.
This is your Rev vocabulary.
Put your helmet on.
Yeah,
we're
ready to
we're
go.
gonna party.
Yeah, we do like a big employee orientation, and then like our Rev Day, like I was talking about, is coming up, is just that kind of, boom, Rev explosion. Like
I love it.
just really gets people like ingrained kind of into the mindset. But we always talk about like our tone of voice and how we, talk about ourselves. And we always say it's like you're at a barbecue with your family and friends, and you're talking to them about financial products and services. Like it's someone that you're friends with, so you're talking casually, and you actually care about this person, so
Yeah.
you want what's best for them, but you can talk, really casually about it
Love that.
in a fun way.
I do
So,
love that.
yeah, with like a beer in your hand,
It's hard. It's a hard thing to showcase or tell to the audience and as a credit union.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
it is.
It is. It's not an easy thing to do, but it seems like you guys are doing it like Steph, very professionally, but very cool. Like I want to work there. Like sign me up.
I
Like
bet
what
you're
do you
getting
need?
national acclaim. And you probably don't even realize that
I
other
wonder.
people across the nation are looking at you as like the example.
Thank you. Yeah. It's cool. Like even talking about, what we did with our app conversion. Like I've gotten to talk to, banks and credit unions across the country that are like 5 times our size about how we did it.
Yeah.
Like $8 billion institutions. We're over $1 billion for
I was going to ask.
example.
Are you over $1 billion?
Yeah, like
Okay.
just over $1 billion. So just the scale. Someone that might have 50 branches where we have 14. So, but they're looking at us and asking my advice on something, which is pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So I'm like, yeah, sure.
So you'll probably be there a long time making changes. and
Yeah, I
all the
hope
things.
so. I
They-
hope
they
so.
Say they say the first billion takes a long time.
Mhm.
Takes longest to make, and then to get to 15 or even more, like 5 billion, is a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
So to me, it sounds like you guys put in a lot of legwork, put the foundation down,
Mhm.
got to the billion, and now it's just time to keep the mission
Right.
and
Yes.
explode from there.
Yeah, we've
Right.
set new goals for the next 5 years,
Mhm.
keeping the pedal to the metal, expanding into new markets is a big way to
Right.
continue to grow. So,
Yeah. Are you buying other credit unions?
yeah, so we have like one we have one press release out now about an opportunity we're seeking in West Virginia,
Oh,
actually, with a community
Is that where you're
bank
from?
there.
I'm from Virginia.
that's what I meant.
Okay, yeah,
That's what I
so
meant.
West
There's
Virginia.
2 different states, West and
Yep. Mm-hmm.
for the listeners.
Yep. I won't
For the
say
listeners.
anything about West Virginia at all. Good.
There's the normal version.
Yeah.
The West.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that one.
No.
I love it. But yeah, just continuing to expand, into new markets. Wilmington
Yeah.
and that area is, we're still growing there a lot. Like we're trying to replicate, the success we've had here, there, which is definitely hard being physically here in Charleston and, continue to grow that. So it's been, a good learning curve. For
Yeah, a lot of
sure.
travel, a lot of Zoom calls.
Yes, a lot of travel, a lot of, boots on the ground. And then we have a lot of rural markets too. So what are their needs? And how do we market to them? So
Now, with all of your individual locations, do you have like an Instagram for each one of them, or is it one main one for just Rev? Period.
yep, just one Rev.
That's nice.
Yes, that would be, I can't even imagine.
Can you imagine? Like, I don't know if you had one for each different state that you were in.
Yeah, no, just one Rev, but we definitely are conscious of, making sure we're representative of all of our markets as much as possible. So yeah, it's definitely something we have to.
Now, with your marketing
on.
team, are you typically under the same roof, or are you each at different locations, or how does that work?
We're all in the same happy little corner of our HQ in
Oh, it's a
Somerville.
fun office.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yes.
cool. They decked it out really cool.
And
It's
you
not-
get to travel to all these different ones and take videos and that kind of thing. And
Yeah, we do. We have, we kind of, mix it up a little bit. A lot of
territories.
times, yeah, I'm, there because, like I said, we have a bunch of initiatives going on right now. So we try to have, a couple people in the office and then a couple people out and about. We're always at the events and, yeah, literally, like you said, we're everywhere.
everywhere.
I feel like,
Crazy.
correct me if I'm wrong, did I see that you're going to be at Charleston Wine and Food?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a good
So
one.
we are going to be at their, it's like their Community Hero
Yep.
Awards.
All right.
Yeah. So we're powering that event coming up at the end of this month.
Yep.
So.
We just had Ray Richardson on.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a badass.
She is
She's
amazing.
awesome.
Yes. She was in my Leadership Charleston group.
So cool.
Yeah.
I'm
She's
really
really
excited about
cool.
I've never been to any of those events, but I'm going this year, and I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Oh wait, you weren't a co-host on that one, were you,
Nope.
Stephanie? We had Margaret on that.
No.
And Bray invited us to their opening ceremony. See if we can get you a ticket.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
I
not.
would-
Maybe we get you one. I don't
Hi,
know.
Brave, Stephanie. Good to meet you from afar.
She
Yeah.
was awesome. That was a
That's
great
amazing.
conversation. So, what was it like working with them?
With Charleston Food and Wine,
Yeah.
or Wine and Food, sorry.
Yes, wine before food.
Yes.
is what she told me.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, what Charleston
Very
Wine
clearly.
and Food. I've heard that multiple times.
Yes.
So Jason and Dustin, who's our community or PR
Jason
manager,
and Dustin. Yeah.
yeah, they're more involved in that relationship than I am on a personal level.
Sure.
But I know we've, kind of tested the waters about sponsoring in a bigger way. This year, we're just kind of starting with this one event
Right on.
and continue to see how we can work together. But we love them as a community partner and see what they do,
Mhm.
for our community and bringing in, people to Charleston. So.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I don't want to add anything more to your plate and your list, but I know a podcast that's looking for a sponsor.
There you go.
Okay. Well,
It's called the Charleston Marketing
I-
Podcast.
you know, I had a hunch. I had a hunch.
Awkward at all. Woo, I'm sweaty.
It's
All
called.
of a sudden. There
But
you go.
no,
Love
I
it.
like to have fun.
Yeah, we
but,
do. We do like to fly.
whatever. So, any common mistakes that you see marketers making when they try to build or rebrand, and then how do you help them course correct?
Yeah. So I think one thing is, you got to think about building a brand that lasts. So doing anything that's too viral or, trying to,
Too trendy.
too trendy, like trying to go in too many directions at one time can kind of dilute your message. So just really honing in on kind of, who you are, making sure that what you're putting out there is consistent across every single channel and platform.
Right.
So yeah, I think I would just encourage people to take a step back and just really think about, okay, in 50 years, 100 years, it's going to stand the test of time, yeah. And are we diluting our message by trying to do too many things
Right.
or
Right.
cast too wide of a net? Because I think once you have, a couple followers or customers, members, whatever it is, really trying to cultivate those relationships. Because if you do right by them,
They'll do right.
they're gonna tell someone else, and that's
Yep.
your most valuable kind of way you can grow versus trying to cast this wide net and not focus on who is already supporting you.
Right.
So that would be kind of my advice there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's great advice, and especially since you just said that we're everywhere, but not diluting.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, it's a fine
It's
line.
hard.
It is
Yeah.
It's a
fine line.
balance.
Yeah.
You guys are doing it, so
Yeah.
good. Congrats.
The brand consistency and the messaging, the storytelling that you guys have done since 2019 is very impressive.
Mhm.
So
Thank you.
And
Thank
we're
you.
Congrats.
25 now.
And I
Isn't
feel
that
like we have a long way to go too.
I know.
So
No.
I feel like we're still on the cusp of it, which is I think exciting too.
Yeah.
So-
Very
wild? A lot of room for growth for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Steph. Any more brain busters for Shelley?
No, I think I mean coming in, I was excited to talk to you. I think it's very inspiring. He knows I work with a lot of nonprofits, and I send them your way. And I think you guys are it's just something about the city. Like I've lived in lots of places, but there's something about Charleston where it's like everyone really does give back, and I love to see it, and I love to hear about it. So I'm always really inspired by your stories. So it was fun to hear about the rebrand and all the cool stuff you're doing, and I think it's gonna be a neat journey for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And congrats on getting married.
Thank
know,
you.
yeah.
Thank
We're all
you.
about the love in
Well,
here.
How can people get a hold of you or the bank and follow you
Yeah.
on social? Or
Yeah, so revfcu.com.
What now?
revfcu.com. revfcu.com. Follow us on Instagram at revfederal. Yeah, and then my name's Shelly Puckett. I'm on all the social medias too. So yeah, thank you for having me here and
course.
talking to me. I love talking about
Yeah.
brand and marketing, so
Yeah.
just very happy to do it.
I think
Well,
you
you
learned
can
something.
hear in your voice how much you love what you do, and that's
100%.
really
Thank you.
that's wonderful. So.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
Shelley.
It's been fun.
Absolutely.
Super fun. Before we leave, we need to thank Stephanie.
Oh, thank
How
you.
about that? How about that?
You're thanking me.
Why not?
Oh,
And all of our sponsors, future
sponsors.
sponsors, Rev, Charleston Radio Group
nope.
Studios,
It is
Jerry
the
Feels
Charleston
Good.
Media Solutions.
Oh, you're right.
Speaking of rebranding,
Speaking of rebranding, we are
they
now
are the
at the
Charleston Media Solutions
Matt, we can't hear you,
Studios.
Matt. Charleston Media Solutions
Studios. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt, for engineering for us. Kelly showing up and taking some photos.
Yep.
Always a good time. If you're looking to sponsor or be a guest on our show, you can reach out to podcast@charlestonama.org. And Stephanie will get right back to you.
Yes, she will. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Thank you guys for being here with us today, and we'll see you next time.
Till next time, Charleston.
Bye.
Say bye, Shelley.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That's all right. Bye.
Bye.